My dad said it seems like young men don't want to get married anymore, and I wanted to ask the internet why that might be.
Divorce increases as women's income increases relative to their husbands.
So I would love to get married again, but now it seems like men don't want to get married anymore. Men don't want to get married anymore.
A man getting married today is setting himself up for failure, especially in the West.
So I've been divorced for 2.5 years and I'm ready to start dating. And I'm just wondering, where are all the men at?
Happy women don't leave good husbands.
I think there are no guys who want a serious relationship in 2024.
Men wanted relationships, but they all were forced to walk away altogether. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
I think it's true that women really can never be happy or pleased.
I genuinely don't understand where the tall people at.
Dating after you were married fucking sucks. Cause I'm not out here to be your girlfriend.
Crazy. I'm never getting married probably.
Stop getting married. It's 2025. You're just wasting your time.
Most men that get divorced, they get married again because they need somebody to take care of them.
Why are women so interested in marriage, but 80% fall for divorce?
That is true.
My dad said it seems like young men don't want to get married anymore, and I wanted to ask the internet why that might be. I definitely have ideas of why it might be, but I'd rather hear from real people. It's also interesting that it coincides with that statistic that's been thrown around a lot lately, which is that 40% of women of marriageable age are going to be single by the year 2030. And what's interesting is it's by choice. We're all choosing not to do this anymore. And I know that for a lot of women, myself included, there's a lot of hesitancy because we've been hurt and we're afraid. So I'm curious, what is it from the male perspective? Or do you think all of this is just a consequence of the culture we live in now with hookup culture and the internet? I don't know. Let me know what I should tell my dad. Thanks.
Marriage is the only business contract where one party can fail to uphold their side and still receive benefits. No longer a beneficial union. The risk isn't worth the reward. The marriage is not about the relationship anymore. It is about legal obligations. Cost-benefit analysis has shown us that the juice is not worth the squeeze.
Can someone explain to me how a man can go to work all day so his wife can stay home all day, and after a long, hard day at work, he comes home to no punani, no home-cooked meal, and the house is a mess? Isn't the point of you staying home all day to make the person who works all day's life a little bit easier, not more stressful? Just saying.
Wiped me clean. I mean, had me evicted somehow, one way or another. Had me evicted, and he got a rental agreement. He got to stay on the property. I had to leave. And I went to my ex-husband in here in Van Nuys, and I said, "Hey, I got a problem. I'm out of work and I need a place to stay." And he said, "No, Ronnie."
Well, congratulations, madam, you played yourself. This feminist left her husband for a younger guy, then tried to crawl her way back into his life when she was evicted back in the streets. Where's the shame? What was she expecting her ex-husband to do? Save her? The same man she disrespected and discarded for someone she thought was better. That's the irony. Women like this believe the grass will always be greener until reality smacks them in the face. You see, that younger guy was never going to provide stability. He was there for fun, for the moment, not for the long run. And when the fun ran out, so did he. Now she comes crawling back to the man she once treated as disposable, hoping he'll still be the safety net she threw away. But why should he? Why should a man step back into the role of protector and provider for someone who only remembers his value when her options dry up? That's the problem. Too many modern women gamble away their security, thinking they'll always have a backup plan.
I still stand by the fact that my husband is the ugliest man that I have ever met 5 years into our marriage. If you are single right now, it's because you want to be attracted to your partner, and that is just not realistic. I don't know how many times women on this app are going to have to say it. Find an ugly ass man and marry him. And I'm not talking about a guy that just needs a little brush up, okay? I'm talking about a terminally unattractive man. I sleep with an eye mask at night so that I have time in the morning to mentally prepare before I make eye contact with my husband. But here I am, married, and you're not. So who's laughing?
So I would love to get married again, but now it seems like men don't want to get married anymore. Like, why is this? Can't we just get a prenup and be happy and be married? I get it where there's so many people that just live together and they live a married life, but they don't actually get married. Are people at least getting rings still? So at least you can show like I'm taken when you're out and about if you don't want to get married. What is the real reason men don't want to get married anymore? Is it money? Is it they've already had half of their stuff taken from a divorce, so they're bitter? I'm really curious. I feel like the partnership that comes with marriage is just a little bit different than if you're just dating someone, because they can always cut bait and jump ship because there's nothing to lose. When you do have like skin in the game, I feel like people would be more apt to like work through challenges, try to figure it out to stay together, versus if you're never married, it's easier just to be like, okay, fight and run away. But are guys really not wanting to get married anymore? Let me know in the comments.
Because men are tired of being taken advantage of financially and emotionally. No, in most cases it's a poor investment. The woman gets rewarded for breaking the contract. Marriage is a 3-ring circus. The engagement ring, the wedding ring, then the suffering. Divorced guy here. No way in hell would I ever get married again. No way. She already answered half the question herself. Yes, men don't want to get married anymore. And why would they? The laws don't favor them. One wrong move, one bad decision, and everything they've worked for, their house, their savings, their peace of mind, can be ripped away in a courtroom. But it's not just about the laws. It's also about modern women. Too many relationships and marriages today end on a whim. One argument, one dry spell, one moment of boredom, and suddenly she's outgrown him, found herself, or deserves better. That's not love. That's entitlement wrapped in a self-help quote. Modern women today lack commitment, especially in a world that constantly tells them to never settle, do what's best for you, and leave if you're not happy 100% of the time. We're living in a culture that glorifies temporary feelings over long-term loyalty.
It's the year I'm going to find love. I'm going to start dating. This time, though, we're not doing the foolishness that we did before. We're going to start dating again in 2025, but we're not going to entertain these foolish men, okay? We're dating with intention. We're dating for character. We're really going to get to know someone properly. 2025, we're finding love, okay? Okay.
Hey guys, just eating my salad here and thinking about how I am so crazy. I am crazy. I'm never getting married probably because I just don't have the capacity to date. Dating is so embarrassing to me. Like, I don't want to go on a first date and be dating someone. I want a husband. I want to go on the date and know you're my husband, okay? I don't want to fiddle around with questions. I don't want to fiddle around with getting to know each other. And who are you underneath the mask? Just show up. Show up already married, okay? To me, not to somebody else, preferably. So yeah, I'm crazy, and that's why I'm not married and will probably never be married.
I left the man that I loved for the man that I deserve. I was in a relationship for 10 years and decided to leave that relationship because he was no longer the man of my dreams. He was a good boyfriend and he never cheated on me, but when it came to alignment and what I deserved and what I wanted and saw for myself and my future kids, I wanted to give my kids the best possible father I could, as well as like the best possible life I could give them. Love is not enough for that. So I left. It took me years of contemplation, but now I am in pursuit of finding the man of my dreams again, because you're young, you're hot, you might as well live your best possible life, especially the one life that you have, the one body that you have. Like, don't waste it away on settling.
I left the man that I love for the man that I deserve. After 10 years, that's not just wild. It's delusional. But in a twisted way, she actually did him a favor, because too many women today walk around believing they deserve someone better, when in reality, they're exactly where they're supposed to be. This woman left because he was no longer the man of her dreams. Translation: he stopped making her feel butterflies and instead gave her stability, consistency, and real love. The kind of love that doesn't come with constant dopamine hits. But she wasn't ready for that. She needed chaos, drama, the thrill of what else is out there. So she walked away from a man who probably stood by her through everything just to chase a fantasy, a feeling. And that's the problem. Many of these decisions today aren't rooted in reality. They're rooted in emotions and momentary dissatisfaction.
Your husband is your partner, not a bank.
Very much agreed. Yet, unfortunately, there are some women out there that hold this opinion.
May our future daughters never find men like you?
Sad, isn't it? Yet, I have a feeling in a few years, a lot of the women that think like this will actually be wondering why they're still single.
Is it just me, or you be talking to somebody or even dating somebody, right? And be so in love, like just love this motherfucker. See absolutely no wrong in them, just love them. Then one day you're just like, I don't like you no more. We could be having a good day. And I just be like, I don't like you no more. I don't like the person you are. I don't like the way you move. I don't like the way you think. I just don't like you. So I want to leave. Just like that, like I want to go. I don't want to talk anymore. Is that just me?
Women do not leave good men. So if you start seeing someone and their story to you is that their last partner left them, please know the reason is they are not a good man. Because let's be honest, as women, we're always willing to try to work on the relationship, which again is bad. It doesn't work. While men, on the other hand, are by nature selfish as shit. And they will always be selfish. And honestly, that is a trait that I admire a little bit. They will always do what is best for them, regardless, point blank. While most women will lose themselves in the relationship and therefore try to work on it because it's more of like an investment to us. I've invested my time, my energy, my youth. I'm going to make this work. That type of thing. But men don't give a shit. They are more likely to stay if they've spent a lot of money on you because that kind of hurts their wallet. Especially if you've leveled up in any of the looks departments. They're very likely not to leave. But if they're not being fulfilled in any type of way, whether it's emotional or physical, they will go elsewhere. And there's a lot of people in my comments who want to say, oh, who traumatized you? And they wouldn't be half wrong. I have been in some bad relationships. And I take my part in the accountability for that because I participated in those relationships. And I was their dummy. But as I've gotten older, I've seen this isn't like a one-off scenario. I experienced that scenario in like an intense, very long, serious relationship kind of way. But it's not a one-off. This is just how men operate. And I am, unfortunately, aware of that. I took the red pill. And that is what I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to give you guys the game. These men are all the fucking same. There are a few good ones, but in 2025, good luck finding one.
How many times have you heard that nonsense? Women do not leave good men. Yet over and over again, we see women leaving perfectly good husbands. When women like these say things like that, they're not being honest. They're trying to paint to their female audience a fairy tale that excuses their own selfish choices. They want to convince other women that leaving a man isn't about greed, ego, or boredom. It's about him secretly being not good enough. It's a way to justify walking away from stability, loyalty, and family without admitting that the real reason is their own lack of contentment. It's damage control. It's narrative spinning. Because the truth is, plenty of women do leave good men. They just don't want to say it out loud because it makes them look shallow, ungrateful, and self-centered. So instead, they reframe the story to make themselves the victim and the man the hidden villain. And sadly, a lot of women eat it up, while men are left asking the same question. If even being a good man isn't enough, then what's the point?
Single. How old are you?
41.
Okay, you're 41
But
and
I'll
you're
be
single.
42.
All right. You're 41 or 42 in a week. You're single. You have no kids. Why is that?
I don't know if you could say I'm selfish.
You're selfish?
I like being free.
You like being free?
I like being free. I like going out.
Okay.
I like dancing. I like flirting. I can be with one woman, but
You'd rather not?
the responsibility, who wants that? Really, honestly, who wants that?
I don't.
I want to be free. I don't want no responsibility. I don't have to worry about somebody for the rest of my life. Even when I'm 90, I got to worry about my 70-year-old kid, 40-year difference, 50. It's just not for me, I don't think. When I see my friends with their kids, like, I'm supposed to want it, but I look at it like,
it sucks.
It sucks.
It fucking sucks.
Most men that get divorced, they get married again because they need somebody to take care of them. Most women that get divorced stay alone because they're like, I don't need to be somebody's parent. I'm going to just chill by myself, and it's way better alone.
I think that men never usually want to get divorced in the first place.
Because you guys get so much more out of a marriage.
But I think it's because men generally are far more moral, and they adhere to a much stricter moral guideline than women tend to. Well, I mean, you can shake your head, but you have nothing to back any of the things you're saying up. Nothing. Why is it that women are initiating divorces?
Because they have to do too much for a man. A lot of the time, women are willing to go and be a single mother because they're a single mother at home with their husband. So they don't want to take care of an additional person. They want to just take care of themselves and their children. They don't want to have to also take care of a full-grown man.
Care of everybody too.
You're assuming that he is. Most men don't do that. Most men aren't doing that.
Men are out working their asses off for their women. What do you mean?
I heard someone say that if marriage was beneficial for women, they would have taken it away from us.
Actually, marriage doesn't benefit men anymore because you used to get married and you'd have a wife that wanted to contribute to the relationship, like cook, clean, take care of the kids, take care of you. And now the only thing women are willing to do is take care of the children. They say you need to take care of yourself. So why do you need to get married for that? The answer is you don't, which is why most men just have sex, get a woman pregnant, and then never marry her because they're getting the same result. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think women should only have to do that stuff, especially nowadays because women are able to work and contribute financially to relationships. But even when you bring that up, a woman is like, my money is my money. You need to take care of us, but I'm also not going to do anything for you. No duh, people don't want to get married. And in the instances where men do actually marry a woman, 9 times out of 10 nowadays, they want to divorce your ass for absolutely no reason. And then you end up with all of your shit gone. I mean, I don't know the actual statistic on it, but I'm sure it's 99% of women get alimony or child support from their ex-husband.
Absolutely. Marriage used to mean something. It used to be about building a life together through thick and thin. It was a sacred bond. But now, the idea of marriage has been watered down into a temporary thrill. Something people treat like a phase until they feel different and decide to leave. Many modern women walk into marriage expecting everything from a man: financial security, emotional support, stability, protection, yet offer very little in return. They think simply being present is enough. It's wild when you really think about it. They want a traditional man who pays for everything, protects them, and provides like it's the 1950s. But without being a traditional woman, why sign up for something where love has conditions, commitment has an expiration date, and respect is optional? It's literally setting yourself up for failure.
Overwhelming majority of the time, it's the woman leaving. 70 to 80% of women initiate divorce. What incentive does a man have to leave a woman that he gets down on one knee and asks to be his wife and spend the rest of his life with?
I hate that you guys, make it seem that, women are just bored and we just end up in relationships because of whatever.
What do you think the number one cause of divorce is?
I would say it's cheating.
No, it's not. It's lack of commitment. Like the lack of commitment to the relationship, meaning they don't want to do the work. They don't want to put in the work that comes in the marriage. The number one statement is, we've grown apart. Now, does that sound like that has anything to do with duty? Or does that sound like that's on the basis of her emotions, her expectations, her perceptions of the relationship? How the marriage makes her feel? What do you think that stems from? Having unrealistic expectations going into the marriage to begin with. It's emotion.
I genuinely don't understand how some guys will be like, oh my gosh, you're so masculine. I want a girl that's so feminine. You are the feminine girl. You are, in fact, a literal bitch and you are a crybaby. Like, this generation of men, what, I just don't understand. Like, honey bunny, we can't both be feminine. If you want to be masculine, play your part. Someone's got to be the boss and someone's got to be the baby. Pick your poison, my love.
The internet will never see the shit my husband does for me, the flowers he buys for me, the anniversary gifts he gets me. None of it. Why? Because I'm not in a dysfunctional relationship or marriage. I don't have shit to prove. The people posting the most shit about their relationships and marriages online are basically on the brink of divorce or breaking up. Yeah, y'all can miss me with that.
I'm going to try to go back and look through the comments of that video. Just go real quick, take a look, and come back. What I find fascinating is you'll see a bunch of single women in the comments telling this woman, who's married, mind you, that, oh, even if you keep your relationship private, it can still fail. But it's not failing. She's literally giving you the recipe. She's telling you what works. The reason that the dating market and the state of relationships today is what it is because y'all are the blind leading the blind. Nobody likes to take advice from people in successful relationships. This whole idea that everybody's different, you have to do what works for you, is bullshit. Everybody, and I mean everybody, should take cues from the people that came before them that did things successfully. And one day, our community, yes, the black community, one day, we're going to learn. But until then, y'all keep making videos. It is what it is.
This woman said, "My marriage will never be for the internet." And honestly, that's a good thing, because marriage is supposed to be sacred. It's supposed to be private. Something between husband and wife, not something broadcasted for likes, comments, and validation from strangers online. But guess who came down hating on her and calling her a pick-me? Women, and not just any women, single women at that. The very same women who can't even keep a man are the loudest ones tearing down a woman who actually values her marriage. That's the irony. Instead of respecting her boundaries and maybe even learning something from her, they mock her because her choices expose the emptiness of theirs. And that's the problem today. Too many women would rather cheer each other on in failure than applaud someone for protecting what's sacred. They see marriage as a performance, as a competition for attention, instead of what it's supposed to be.
I genuinely don't understand where the tall people at. Where are tall men? Anywhere I go, I can see above the crowd. That's not normal. It's like Snow White and dwarfs, full capacity. And all of them are so sus too. Like, there's no like testosterone coming through your shirt. You're just there like, let's go do blow in the bathroom. I'm sorry, I'm having a drink in your hand like pineapple, strawberry, vodka, soda. That's the reason I stopped going out. And this is a reminder for me today that I should have stayed home.
Okay, listen, I've confirmed it. My husband no longer cares about me. Okay, so this morning when I woke up in a really bad mood. Okay, I don't know why I woke up in a bad mood, but I was just in a bad mood. And I wanted to talk to him about it. I really did. So when he asked me the first time, he said, "What's wrong with you? You're acting like you're in a bad mood or something." I said, "No, I'm fine." Okay, so then he asks again. He was like, "No, I can tell something's wrong with you. What's going on? Is there something wrong?" And I said, "No, I'm fine." And then he never asked me again. He never asked again. And what hurts the most is that I was going to tell him on that third time. I was going to tell him the third time that he asked. Did not persist with the questions. He asked twice and he let it go. Who does that? Who does that? I'll tell you who does that. Somebody who doesn't care about their wife. That's who does that. Somebody who's probably cheating on her. Somebody who...
Or maybe your man just can't read your mind and he's relying on you to use your big girl words when something is wrong with you and tell him. And what's frustrating for that man is that he's most likely going to be the one to apologize because he doesn't want to fight. Even though he's not the one that woke up with the bad mood. Even though he's the one that did check in with you to see what was wrong. Even though all that man probably wants is for you to be okay. On the other hand, if you used your words and you told him what was wrong, and if he had a poor reaction to that, that would be a different story. But at least that would be something real for him to actually apologize about.
Is marriage even worth it? It's not. I've been married for about 7 years, and I don't even know if this is worth it. Like, and not saying that there's anything necessarily wrong. There's nothing wrong, and that's the point. Like, I don't even know why I'm upset. And I have a good man. I do. And that's not the point. The point is, it's like, you really do lose yourself. You lose your sense of individuality. I don't think it's worth it. Like, at all. I don't know if I want to continue doing this every single day of my life. Like, always checking in with someone, always having to consider their feelings, it's always somebody else. You know, girls are out there, they're like dying for like a relationship like mine. Like, he takes care of me, but like, I'm sorry, like, I can't even really barely deal with myself and my own emotions. I just don't think marriage is for me.
This woman has been married for 7 years, and now she's saying marriage isn't worth it. Again, after 7 years of marriage. And in her own words, there's nothing necessarily wrong, she just thinks it isn't worth it. Do you realize how crazy that sounds? This is one of the many reasons why men aren't getting married today. Think about it. This woman probably wasted 7 years of that man's life. The family that he built up, the home he provided, the sacrifices he made, all thrown away because she doesn't feel like it's worth it anymore. It doesn't even matter if you're a good man anymore. You can do everything right. Provide, stay loyal, give her stability, and one day she can just wake up and say, I don't feel like being married. Imagine investing nearly a decade of your life into someone, only for them to treat it like it was a phase, like it was just another chapter they can close whenever they feel like it. That's not just unfair, it's devastating.
Here's a part 2 on why you shouldn't date for marriage when you're in your early 20s. So a lot of people say, like, you know, if you don't date for marriage when you're in your early 20s, then you're going to be ran through, you're dating for heartbreak, you're wasting your time. And none of these things are true because, first of all, what you do with your body is your business, and I am all for fully honoring your truth and your pleasure, whatever that looks like for you, whether that's multiple partners or just one, that is your choice. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with getting into a serious relationship when you're younger, but the reality is no matter how intelligent and advanced you are for your age, you're still going to grow so much in your 20s. So my advice as someone in her later 20s and who has worked with women for the last 10 years, from early 20s to early to mid 50s, wait to get married. Otherwise, you're more likely to get divorced.
This advice is horrible. This woman is literally telling other women not to date for marriage in their early 20s, and instead to honor their youth and chase pleasure. But let's be real, we're already seeing the consequences of that mindset play out everywhere. Women in their late 20s and 30s are openly struggling to find a good man to settle down with. They partied, they traveled, they lived it up, and now they're wondering where all the quality men went. It's easy to say, date for fun when you're in your prime, getting all the attention. But that attention doesn't last forever. The dating market is ruthless, and it doesn't reward aging the same way for women as it does for men. The truth is, telling young women to prioritize pleasure over partnership is not empowerment, it's sabotage. It's setting them up for regret, loneliness, and a harsh wake-up call in the years to come. Single women are really the best at keeping other women single, aren't they?
There's a video going around of this husband protecting his wife from 5 women as they're fighting her. And the entire comment section is saying, this is one of those men that puts their hands on women and thinks that it's okay. Bro, his wife is getting beat up by 5 women. This isn't even a fair fight. And what do you expect him to do? Just stand there and let these women put their hands on his wife? No. It's that same old argument. If a woman's hitting you, what do? You tell them to stop, and if they don't, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like, it's not rocket science, okay? It's not like, bro. And I support the husband. If his job is to protect his woman, Imagine the type of man he would be if he just stood there while these 5 women beat his wife into a pulp. Be so for real.
We were talking about, how so many married women are cheating on their husbands. I see it a lot. He sees it a lot. And we were wondering, or I was wondering, what do you think? Why do you think this is happening? His response was so on point, and this is something that I've done several videos on. So he was saying that there's a lot of women who marry men, and the woman wants to run the show. She wants to be the boss. She bosses him around. She wants everything her way. She starts emasculating him. I've heard so many stories of men who meet great women, but they end up leaving because they feel so emasculated all the time by a woman. Eventually, if you're emasculating a man too much, you don't respect his opinion, you don't respect his authority or like his leadership, he's going to stop being a leader in the relationship, and he's just going to let the woman take the drive. Now, a lot of women would say, well, this is exactly what I want, but what ends up happening is the woman stops respecting the man, and then she goes out and cheats on the man, and she tells, men that she cheats on him with that she just wants to be dominated in the bedroom. She wants a man that's a real man. I see that all the time in my comment section, women being like, well, where are the real men out there? I had a man that I had to baby, or a man that I had to pick up after. And a lot of times the reason why this dynamic happens is because the woman unconsciously emasculates him and doesn't make him feel like a man. She doesn't respect his opinions or his leadership, and she wants to take control. So he ends up just kind of taking a back seat because he's tired of getting, yelled at or fussed at. So he's like, okay, you take the lead in everything then. And then she has to be the leader because she's forced herself into that position. He gives up, and then she stops respecting him, and then their sex life pretty much caves. I got slammed by a lot of women for saying that we should allow our husbands to lead, and the women being like, oh, this is so, patriarchal, or this is so misogynistic that you should let a man lead. Why can't a woman lead? Well, if a woman is leading the home, again, she's going to stop respecting the man. She's going to feel like all of the responsibility and weight is on her shoulders. Now, I did a video for advice on queen archetypes saying that it's okay to be a leader in your public life. It's okay to be a leader in your career. But when you come home, and if you want a traditional kind of family, and if you want a traditional man or like a masculine man, you have to respect him as the leader in your family. Because if you take too much of the masculine role, he's going to sit back in the feminine role, and then you're going to stop respecting him, and you're going to stop feeling a sexual drive and pull towards him. And he's not going to feel sexually drawn to you either because you're acting like a man.
So many married women cheat not because their husbands were bad men, but because he was never their first choice to begin with. He was the safe choice, the reliable one, the guy who would give her the ring, the house, the kids, while the one she really wanted either didn't want her back or wasn't ready to settle down. And that's the harsh truth nobody wants to admit. A lot of women settle for the man who was good enough, but not the one they truly desired. So later down the line, when the excitement fades and reality sets in, that buried resentment starts to surface. She starts feeling unfulfilled, not because her husband changed, but because she never wanted him in the first place. He was plan B. That's why the moment temptation comes knocking, maybe from an old flame, a co-worker, or just the illusion of something better, she strays. Not out of impulse, but out of suppressed regret.
And to the bitch that keeps throwing the hubcap off my car, your coochie smell like the back of a throat, okay? Anyways, why are men expected to act like a husband in a boyfriend stage, but you don't feel as though you need to act like a wife in a girlfriend stage until somebody chooses to make you a wife? Make it make sense. If you never displayed qualities of being a wife, why would anybody want to make you one? It sounds like women just never want to put any effort first. Like, we feel like we just have to offer minimal effort, and that should be significant enough. That and the cat should just have it in the bag. I don't know about y'all, but if I'm choosing to be in a relationship, I'm in it to win it. Do you want dinner, baby? Massage, baby? Baby, what do you need? Y'all are literally admitting to doing half it and then wondering why you still are not a wife. And they got the audacity to be complaining about why Suzanne's a wife before you. You haven't showed anything. You're doing what any other do. Stand out.
Stop getting married. It's 2025. You're just wasting your time. Do you really want to spend the rest of your life with another human being and then have to pay 10 grand just to divorce them? And I'm not even talking about kids. So like, why go through that stress? Why go through that hassle? Because society said so. Society says it's your duty to have kids, only for you to traumatize your kids because your marriage is so awful. It's just way better being single and dating around. Why commit to one person for the rest of your life? There's always someone better. You're just wasting your time.
So out of the woman-initiated divorces, 80% make more than their partner.
Make more money than their partner.
I don't think it's a horrible thing that women are making more money, because on a conscious evolution and an emotional intelligence level, if a woman makes more money, she now has more options. And if there's any shred of abuse or just not alignment in the marriage, she's less likely to put up with it, which actually raises the standard of how men treat women. And in the case of, if it's not actually abuse and it's just disagreement between the partners, they've disintegrated.
Yes.
He's over here doing his thing, she's doing this thing.
Yep.
They're no longer integrated.
Yep.
If there's a possibility of reintegrating the relationship, why not try for that?
Exactly.
But doesn't that look like identity work?
Yeah, it absolutely is. They both have to accept where each other's identity is.
Right.
And they both have to have dreams.
Well, that is true. When women make more money than their man, they're far more likely to file for divorce and destroy their family. And think about that for a second. The man didn't cheat. He didn't abuse her. He didn't walk away. No, the problem is simply that she earns more than him. That's it. And because of that, she suddenly feels like he's beneath her, like she doesn't have to respect him anymore. A lot of modern women only respect men when they're above them financially. Once they out-earn their husband, the mask comes off and the respect disappears. And when respect is gone, love is gone, because you cannot claim to love someone you don't even respect. And quite frankly, it's shallow, because if money is the only reason you lose respect for the man you once vowed to love, then what does that say about you? It means the marriage was never built on loyalty or character. It was built on status. It means the vows didn't really matter. For better or worse only applied as long as he made more than you.